Have you ever Googled, am I okay? Or what's wrong with me? If so, stop right there. You're asking the wrong question. The real question is not if you're struggling, it's how deeply you understand your struggle. See, in psychiatry, they don't just look at symptoms, they look at insight. And there are 6 clear levels of insight you can achieve. Climbing this level is the single most important step towards true, lasting healing. Today, I'm sharing you the clinical framework, the 6 levels psychiatrists to use to assess where you are and more importantly, where you need to go. Trust me, where you think you are might not be where you truly are. Let's get started. Let's start at level 1, denial. This is basic awareness. You might be crying every day, constantly irritable, or drinking too much, but your default answer is, nothing's wrong with me. You rationalize every symptom away. This is often stage where patients don't come to see a doctor voluntarily. Think it's early stage of schizophrenia or active addiction. Their loved ones have to force them to go see a doctor or professionals for help. And because they don't see themselves as a patient, they often refuse to talk to a doctor. They're angry or sometimes aggressive. So basically, they don't know they have issues, even if many of their loved ones are constantly telling them that they have issues. Now, level 2 is when you recognize something's wrong, but you're still denying it. Personally, I find this one of the hardest stages to treat. Let's say a person might come into the clinic for depression, in this case, sometimes even on their own, but they keep seeking validation. I'm okay, right? This isn't a big deal, it's just stress, like this. Or if it's alcohol addiction, they'll say, doesn't everyone drink this much? Or my friend's drinking way more than I do. They recognize the problem but simultaneously negate it. They're stuck between recognition and denial. Level 3 is where you're fully aware of your issue, but you're blaming it on others. For example, you think you might be drinking too much, but you say, I drink because my job is too stressful. Or I drink because my family is giving me too much stress. If I don't have stress, I don't need to drink. Or I feel anxious because I was raised in chaotic household. Or my depression flared up because of my boss. We all experience this type of thought at least once, right? So this is level 3. And level 4 is a bit tricky. You know you have problem, but you cannot pinpoint the cause. You realize it's not your job, it's not your family. The reason is ambiguous. You know you're suffering, but the why is elusive. This is actually growth insight. While level 3 is clearly about blaming others, level 4 is about taking the blame inward and recognizing the problem is complex. It could be a little bit confusing because it feels less certain, but it's a huge step in honest self-reflection. Level 5 is an intellectual insight. You know you have a problem, you know the treatment is needed, but this knowledge doesn't translate into behavioral change. For example, you fight with a friend. Intellectually, you know you're wrong, but you refuse to apologize. Or you know your school grades dropped, and not because your parents or your phone or your girlfriend, but because you're just lazy. So you fully understand the problem, and in order to fix it, what should we do? Study harder, right? But is it easy to study hard all of a sudden? Probably not, right? So recognize the problem and the necessary action, but the refusing to act, that's level 5. Finally, level 6 is true emotional insight. You move from intellectual realization to emotional acceptance and fundamental behavioral change. So for example, going back to alcohol addiction, you realize your drinking problem is not caused by your boss or your environment. You accept alcoholism is a treatable illness, then seek professional help and maintain sobriety for long term, and this is level 6. While the ultimate goal is level 6, most patients come to see doctors at level 1 to 3. If you can even reach level 4 or 5, the treatment becomes significantly easier and effective. So how do you climb these levels, especially from level 2 to level 3? Here's one effective tool you can use today, the 5-minute insight journal. Every time you feel overwhelmed, anxious, or irritable, Don't just write what you feel. Use this prompt. I feel X because Y, and Y is related to Z. For example, I feel anxious because I was late submitting my paper, and that I need for perfection is related to my fear of failure. Or let's try another one. I feel fear whenever I have to go to a party, and that's true, but why? The fear is because social events makes me feel exposed and judged. And that feeling of consistent judgment is related to my deep-seated fear of being unworthy or rejected. Like this. This simple framework forces you to connect the symptom to the cause and finally to the root. And that's the level 3 insight in action. I have a fun quiz for you. I have a friend who is always late. He knows he always late. And when he finally arrives, he always has excuses. There were no parking spots, the traffic was bad, my wife didn't wake me up on time, stuff like that. So what level is he? We can say level 3, right? But since we don't know what he really thinks inside, it's too tricky. If he thinks, so what? It's okay to be a little late. Why everyone is so sensitive about it? Then he's actually stuck back at level 1. So remember, your mental health journey is a process of discovery, not defeat. If you reach the level 2, that's a big step. The goal is not to get rid of the problem, it's to understand the problem better than it understands you. By climbing these 6 levels, you move from being a victim of your mental state to become the master of your mind. If this framework helped you locate where you are right now, please hit the like and subscribe and share this video with someone who needs to hear this information so they can fight it more effectively. And remember, health is wealth, so invest in yourself. This is Dr. Sean making health easy for you. See you next time.